So there are 5 symptoms to post-traumatic stress disorder. The first is that you must have experienced a trauma. Now, there are different ways in which we can conceptualize trauma, and usually it means that you've encountered something that you perceive to be life-threatening, or potentially something like a sexual violation that occurred either to you or in your presence, or that you became aware of it happening to a loved one. The second area is re-experiencing, and we might know that more commonly as nightmares or flashbacks, but there are other things that count as re-experiencing, including your mind and body putting you on high alert and making you feel as though the trauma is about to happen again. The third area is avoidance, and this is the biggest symptom that you won't see, because people are trying their best not to encounter things outside of themselves or inside of themselves that remind them of the traumatic event, which means anything that could seem like a trigger outside of them is something they might want to avoid. Also, experiencing emotions could be a sign that they're in danger. So while they might be trying to kind of flip off a switch in their brain that controls anxiety, they're often shutting down access to all types of emotions, which is why some people might look really distressed and anxious and other people can feel quite numbed out and detached. The fourth area is a change in how you think and in your emotional world as well. So it's going to alter the way you think about things, and some very common things that people will start thinking about are that, one, that they're responsible for that traumatic event. And this is kind of a confusing one for many people because they're not responsible for the event itself, but in their way to try to solve and perhaps make sure that this doesn't happen to them again, they end up taking more responsibility because I could have done this, I could have done that, I should have done this. And so they kind of outthink themselves. They also start thinking about the world as a much more dangerous place than what they thought it was before. And it leads them to be more cautious. They have a lot more feelings of mistrust. And that leads them to question whether or not they can trust themselves or other people. So it's going to greatly impact their interpersonal relationships. It's also going to change the way they experience their emotions. So for most of them, emotions will be something that could be, if I feel more activated emotionally, that could mean that a threat is present, and therefore I'm either going to display that I feel really activated, or I'm going to try to numb myself out to those emotional experiences. The last area is changes in how our body responds to anxiety. Many people will feel really on edge. We actually call that hypervigilance. I'm always looking around for what could go wrong. They're going to have a hard time relaxing, which means it's hard for them oftentimes to get to sleep. And even if they don't have nightmares, they often have very disrupted sleep and not enough quality sleep. They're going to feel just anxious, jumpy, and on edge most of the time.